Hey there YouTube, welcome to Big Mike Beard Wisdom. So, the bushes next to the driveways starting to get pretty big and reach out fairly far. So, if you look down here, you can see the driveway pretty much shoots up straight here. So it's starting to overgrow just a little bit. And for me, I like to keep this kind of trimmed back. That way it's not touching the cars and you don't risk having like the wind blow the leaves and the limbs around and having it rub on your paint, putting weird scratches in. And the big trick that I do is I basically take the truck here and I use it as like a rolling, almost like a man lift or like rolling scaffolding. So that way, instead of trying to jump out on a ladder and try and trim this, I just keep backing the truck up. But you can see some of this stuff sticks out fairly far, and it's made up of quite a few different plants, not all of which I know what it is. Some of them have those kind of cool like berries and stuff like that. Some of them are more viney and have like these purple berries. Those purple berries are horrible because I don't think you can eat them. And then when you step on them, man, you'll track that everywhere. The tools I tend to use are a simple set of trimmers like this, a set of loppers. This is handy because it's like a long pole lopper. And then what really makes it go much faster is using a hedge trimmer. So this is a Dewalt one and a 20 volt max. And I used to do it with just that and the other hand tools, but holy man, does that make it go so much faster. So with that first cut, what I'm trying to do is basically cut this back along the edge of the driveway and cut it back a little bit farther than I would normally, just because eventually it's going to start growing back out. So this way it's cut back far enough, it'll stay back longer. And then it kind of sets me up for what's a little bit too thick to cut with that. So it'll cut fairly thick branches. So like here's my finger. So you can see it'll cut a pretty good thick one, but it won't cut all the really thick ones. And there's certain ones where they're almost extra tough and it just won't cut through. So like this one here where it's got like a bit of like a maple leaf. So I don't know if this is like a white maple or like a swamp maple or something like that, but it just kind of grew in here. But like this one, it barely touched. So this one, you can see it kind of smacked it a couple times. That one we'll have to use the loppers on. But it made very quick work of that and really cleaned that out. So something I forgot is a rake. So I need to go get a rake. That way I can hurry up and get all this out of the way. And then we can start backing the truck up and cutting the higher up stuff. All right, so with that main section cut out, it's pretty easy to see. The truck slides in here pretty easy. And the nice thing is that it gives you a nice stable platform. So as opposed to standing up on a ladder trying to work a weed or a so instead of standing up on a ladder trying to work a hedge trimmer or anything else, you've got a nice flat stable platform. It's still one of those things where you can overreach, but it's just one of those things you want to be careful about. And then the nice thing about having an old kind of beat up rusty truck is that if it gets a couple more scratches, it just adds to the character. Now for me, I don't really like that the bushes are on this side of the house, because with these hedges being here, it means that I have to park the truck like this with the driver's door into it and then climb out the passenger side as I back this up to have this as close as possible. And the reason why is because to maintain that nice solid platform, I've got to have it backed up all the way to here. Now I could, you know, drive straight one way, have the passenger side on this side, do it, then back up, turn around, and then do just the tail end. But for me, I kind of like doing it this way. That way it's just one run, and when I'm done, I'm done. But I'll grab all the tools that I really need. So I've got the hedge trimmer, the loppers, and the long arm lopper. That way I don't have to go looking for anything as I'm trimming this. I'm able to complete each section as I go. Pretty much got this one completed, so it's all trimmed up pretty high. So I'm not overly concerned about the super high branches. The big thing for me is that I just kind of want to build in kind of a nice looking straight edge up to about even with the garage over there. So far so good. Time to back the truck up, keep going. The other nice thing about doing it on the back of the truck is that essentially as you're backing it up and you're doing all the cuts, everything's dropping either onto or into the bed of the truck. As you walk down the side though, if you do find little things that kind of bug you a little bit, so like maybe this little thing right here, you're like, hey, you're sticking out. That's a great time for that little pair of loppers. Otherwise, you could also get the hedge trimmers and just whack it real quick too. But this is what I like to do. I like to cut it nice and straight. And it makes a really nice look to it right next to the sidewalk. And you can see the trucks are all camouflaged, ready to go hunting. This came out pretty good. It's relatively straight as far as the cut goes. Maybe a little bit of an angle that way. So that's just me as I'm cutting, you know, probably right around that height. So once I moved it in the truck, I didn't go in quite as far. I didn't lean quite as far straight ahead. So, but still doesn't look half bad. Fairly straight. Everything's fairly consistent. Came out pretty decent. You can see there's plenty of room now, so you can see where the driveway ends, and you can see that there's a good amount of room now between the cars and the hedges. So that's pretty decent. Pretty happy with that. That hedge trimmer really makes it go way faster than doing it by hand the whole way down. And then using the truck really comes in handy, because that really makes the cleanup pretty simple. Just throwing everything in the back of the truck. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll check you next time. There's the purple berries. The ones that'll do that to you, make you purple.